going to call this video confusion. I think that it's easy to become confused, distracted, to get out of focus and forget what's really going on in your life, in my life, in this whole ordeal. And you need to have that primary objective, that singularity, that focus. It's hard to do because sometimes with all the exacerbating circumstances that you're dealing with, you get worn out. It just doesn't seem like anything really matters. It doesn't seem like there's anything you can do to change any of this stuff. And, the illusion that's created at that point is that somehow you have to fix what's going on. Somehow you got to figure this out. And the fact that you haven't been able to solve it however long that you've been doing it, well, that's just proof that nothing matters. And, you might as well just, do whatever. I think everyone gets distracted. I noticed in the comments I made that video system, which it was probably way too late at night for me to be doing that. It was about 2 a.m. That people are just not, I don't know, maybe it was a bad video, but people are not, focused. They're not hearing. We're in that ADD type of, society where we're just jumping from one thing to the next. And, people are talking about how I cleared my throat or whatever. Yeah. So, if that's all you're getting out of the video, that's proof that you're being distracted. I mean, how many other things could you be doing, other than watching one of my videos, right? How many other options are there out there? Well, you must be, trying to learn something. You must be, looking for answers, and either it resonates with you or it doesn't. People are distracted. They're out of focus. They're forgetting the issue. Your soul is at stake. Literally. Eternity is out ahead of you. You have this life and then you've got eternity. People are forgetting that. They are. When it comes down to spiritual things, the issue isn't whether someone should have religion or not. Okay? In my opinion, belief in Christ is not a religion. It's not just another option of beliefs. And I've talked about that before too. That if there is no resurrection, that if Christianity was just a set of beliefs, that it would literally be the completely wrong thing to do. Paul talked about that. If we're not going to be raised from the dead, we're to be considered the most miserable of all men. If there isn't a judgment day, if there isn't hell and God's wrath, then there's no point in it. There really isn't. And a lot of people have written that off. A lot of people have just, for whatever reason, junk science or, just the fact there's a lot of charlatans out there that talk about Christ and all that. What's that got to do with reality, though? That's not an excuse. The Bible prophesies about those people, and they're gonna pay for what they're doing. And so I think people are just distracted. I think they're forgetting the issue that whether you're a targeted individual or not, your soul is at stake. You're a body and a soul. A lot of people hold to the trichotomy, spirit, body, and soul. That's fine. I think the word psyche spirit and soul is interchangeably used. Think about it however you want. There are eternal implications to this whole thing. And if you forget that, you're being distracted. You are. That's the primary issue here. And it doesn't matter, like I said, if you're, experiencing group harassment or not. The enemy of your soul wants to distract you. You're being taken off course. Everybody is dealing with that. Either you believe this stuff or you don't. Either you believe that there's a heaven or hell or you don't. It's a pretty serious issue. And I think that, people, some of them anyway, that are experiencing group harassment have been given that for a reason that they need to wake up. They need to see the light. They need to do the math on this and see that, especially if you're one of those, people who are experiencing this stuff on a lot of different levels, that, it can't just be human, right? There's a lot of things out in society, a lot of manifestations that are talked about, that are coming, to the forefront, that cannot happen naturally, right? Women are not going to lie with women naturally. Men are not going to, turn themselves into a woman or, think that they were born another gender without some type of spiritual manipulation in their mind. And, the Bible talks about those things. Either you believe it or not. And when it calls it a sign, when you see these things and you're looking around and you're wondering how all these things have happened, whether you're a targeted individual or whether you're not, you have to ignore the Bible in order to come up with any other conclusion for what's happening. Okay? And, as far as the Romans chapter 1, if you're out there and you're struggling with that, it doesn't mean that you're damned. It doesn't mean that you've been given over without any remedy to a reprobate mind. That's not what the Bible teaches, because there are a lot of other things that are listed on that. But until, Christ is in your life, and until you start to submit to God, those things are going to rule over you. Whatever they are. It could be a lot of different things. So I'm not trying to hit anybody, in particular. If that's you, it doesn't mean that it's too late. Everybody has an opportunity to turn these things around. You're going to be a servant to one or the other. You're either going to serve the kingdom of darkness or you're going to serve God. And that's just the way it is. There's no middle of the road. That's it. You're either going one direction or the other. You can not like it. You can be angry about it. You can be angry with me. I don't care. But that's reality. Time to grow up. If you're one of those targeted individuals who are out there and you're like, I've got to figure all this stuff out. I've got to, find a way to win and to beat all these people. It's not going to happen. You can deal with it. You can live in spite of what's going on. You can be informed and walk through it. Yeah, but you're not going to be able to control other people. You're not going to be able to stop this stuff. It's going to happen to you. There's things you can do to keep yourself safe. You can get a security system. You can take protocols, to keep yourself out of harm's way. You can develop, ways of thinking that are going to, prevent you from getting stressed out and succumbing to the pressure. But you're not going to be able to figure this stuff out. You're not going to be able to stop, this mechanism that's out there, that's used to, tear people to shreds, to ruin their life. You're not going to be able to throw a monkey wrench in this machine and stop it. You might slow it down. Okay, and that's kind of what I'm trying to do. But it's there for a reason. And God has allowed these things for a reason. The kingdom of darkness has been given leeway. And they've been given, things to rule over. They have permission to do some of this stuff. And you got to remember that. We've got to deal with it. We've got to deal with that reality. And, I think it's, biblical to say that, God works through this stuff. I don't think he ordains it. I don't think he preordains anything like that. I think he just works around it. That's my personal opinion. And uses those things in spite of the deadly, intentions of the kingdom of darkness and, the people that have been controlled and overtaken by them and in the world. And if you want to process, gang stalking in any way, it should be looked at as proof of the reality of, of the spiritual, side of your existence, of the reality of what the Bible is talking about. It's there. There's no possible way. It's not logistically possible for all this stuff to be human organization. There's new targeted individuals who are just getting a taste of this stuff, and you haven't seen, all the stuff that's going to happen to you. And a lot of people get taken down, along the way, and they live their existence, the remainder of their life, believing one thing or the other because they just don't look at the evidence. They become deceived. They're overtaken by disinformation, and at that point, well, the kingdom of darkness, they know how to play this game. They know how to serve up the chili. They know how to cook this stuff up to where you're going to believe, the disinformation. They might even back off a little bit and make it look kind of cheesy so that, it does look like, it's just, human or something. They may do that. As long as they've got you confused, as long as they have you, on the wrong path, believing the lie that, a group of people, is responsible for this, or a cult, or, some type of government program, and you completely reject all the evidence. I think that, eventually it can turn into that, and then people, they're just living in a delusion. You had an opportunity. You did. And there's a lot of people out there that, they don't have to deal with reality. There's people that just don't believe that any of this stuff could even be possible. They look at people who are afflicted as, unfortunates or mentally ill. But you're seeing it. It's in your face. And, you have that responsibility to discern what's happening to you, to look at it and examine the spiritual possibility to your scenario. Be good to yourself. Be safe.